Scandal at Chelsea. Club received 74 accusations of violating financial fair play. Martinelli's new club, and Bernardo Silva's return to Benfica. All of this and more in today's episode. Following Manchester City, Chelsea also received accusations, this time from the Football Association of England, which charged the club with 74 violations of regulations regarding agent payments and the involvement of third parties in transfers. This refers to the period of Roman Abramovich's rule, particularly transfers of players such as Eden Hazard, Willian, and Eto'o. I think everyone remembers the 115 accusations against City, which are still hanging in the air without a verdict, without consequences. And now, Chelsea, according to Matt Law, does not expect any sporting sanctions, only a financial fine, approximately £8 million, as was already the case with UEFA. That is another giant who, it seems, will simply buy their way out. It's interesting that Chelsea could have received a transfer ban back during the Club World Cup, but then everything was limited to silence, as with PSG, which paid a fine and continued to buy stars, as with City, which won the case regarding APT agreements and continues to dominate, and now, Chelsea, which itself submitted documents, admitted violations, and, it seems, will only receive a light slap on the budget. Now tell me honestly, is this justice? When clubs with bottomless wallets break the rules, and then just pay and move on, as if nothing happened, and others comply with the regulations, but still get hit on the head. Everton, for exceeding the budget by a few million, received -10 points, then another -2, and barely avoided relegation. Meanwhile, City, with 115 accusations, is still waiting for a verdict, and will obviously only get a fine. PSG has already bought their way out, and Chelsea, it seems, will also get off with a light financial slap, without a transfer ban, without point deductions, without real consequences. These, my friends, are the realities of modern football. Aymeric Laporte has officially returned to Athletic Bilbao, the club where his professional career began. After 7 years at Manchester City and a season at Al-Nassr, the 31-year-old Spanish defender signed a 3-season contract, valid until the summer of 2028. This transfer had a dramatic backstory. Athletic tried to finalize the transfer on the 1st of September, but Al-Nassr did not manage to enter the data into the FIFA TMS system, which blocked the deal. Only after an appeal from the Spanish Football Federation did FIFA change its decision and allow the international transfer certificate to be issued. Laporte has already trained with the team in Bilbao, awaiting permission, and is now ready to debut in the match against Alaves. His return became even more relevant after Yere Alvarez's 10-month disqualification, which left Athletic with a shortage of central defenders. Arsenal has offered William Saliba a new 5-year contract, although the Frenchman's current agreement is valid until 2027. Negotiations are ongoing, and while the Londoners are trying to secure one of their key central defenders, Real Madrid is closely monitoring the situation. In the Spanish capital, Saliba is already being called the Bellingham of defenders, and this is not just a compliment, it's a signal that the interest is serious. This season, Saliba has played 3 matches without goal contributions, but his stability and influence on the game are beyond doubt. His injury at the end of the 2023 season was one of the factors that broke Arsenal's championship ambitions. The club understands that without clear contractual control, they could lose the foundation of their defense, so they are trying to act preemptively. But if negotiations drag on, and the team cannot convince Saliba of the realistic prospect of fighting for trophies, then the vultures from Madrid will be ready to act. And then, Arteta risks losing not just a player, but a pillar of his system. Friends, a small clarification. In the previous issue, we reported that Christian Eriksen was close to moving to Bayer Leverkusen, where he was to be welcomed by Kasper Hjulmand, but life, like the transfer market, loves surprises, and we were a little wrong. Although the Danish playmaker did indeed choose the Bundesliga, his new club is Wolfsburg, not Bayer. The deal has already been officially confirmed. Eriksen signed a contract until 2027 and will wear the number 24. Wolfsburg has acquired not just a veteran, but a leading player with experience in top leagues England, Italy, the Netherlands. The club already has 5 Danes, so Eriksen is entering a comfortable environment where his connections with the Danish national team can have an additional effect on the field. Christian himself commented on the move. "This is my first club in the Bundesliga, and I am very much looking forward to a new adventure." Conversations with the management were positive, and I immediately felt the clear vision of coach Paul Simonis. This is possibly the last major challenge in Eriksen's career, and we will carefully follow whether he can once again surprise the football world. Speculation about Zidane's future is over. The legendary coach and former Real Madrid manager, Zinedine Zidane, is preparing to return to football, this time in the role of head coach of the French national team. According to Al-Nassr, the French Football Federation has already reached a principal agreement with Zidane, who for a long time rejected offers from clubs, among them were PSG, Bayern, and even Juventus. His goal was clear: to lead the tricolores, and now it is close to realization. The current national team coach, Didier Deschamps, will remain in office until the end of the 2026 World Cup, which will be held in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. After the tournament, he will hand over the baton to Zidane, and this could mark the beginning of a new era for the French national team. Onana has already been officially presented at Trabzonspor, where he turns the page from the Man UTD emblem to the Turkish club's emblem. But the symbolism is obvious. This chapter is closed. Manchester United fans can breathe a sigh of relief. We calculated the statistics, and they look like a real nightmare. In 2 seasons in England, Andre Onana conceded 150 goals in 102 matches, of which only 24 ended with a clean sheet. And although his transfer from Inter for over €50 million once seemed logical, the reality turned out to be completely different. A loan to Trabzonspor without a buy option looks like a temporary exile, not a new start. But for United, this is undoubtedly the end of an era of goalkeeping errors that kept fans on edge every match. By the way, Onana will earn over €5 million per season at Trabzonspor, including a signing bonus. Gabriel Martinelli is one of those who risks becoming the next victim of Arteta's evolution. After the arrival of Eberechi Eze and Noni Madueke, competition on Arsenal's left wing has sharply increased, and the Brazilian himself has so far shown nothing that could guarantee him a starting spot. In the first rounds of the season, no goals, no assists, and in the match against Leeds, he remained on the bench altogether. According to Court Offside, Arsenal is ready to consider Martinelli's transfer if a large offer comes in. In the summer, clubs from the Saudi Pro League also showed interest, as did Bayern, which held negotiations but did not reach the requested amount, about €70 million. Now his market value is approximately €55 million, and it continues to fall. This is a classic example of a club failing to sell a player at his peak. In December 2023, Transfermarkt valued Martinelli at €85 million, now €55 million, and if he doesn't reset this season, by the summer of 2026, when only 1 year remains on his contract, his price could drop by another €20 million, and then no one will offer the funds that Arsenal could have received this summer. Martinelli is a straightforward winger who, it seems, has hit a ceiling and cannot adapt to Arteta's new demands. And although the coach publicly expresses support, behind the scenes the club was already preparing for a sale. If the situation does not change in the summer of 2026, we will see him in a different jersey, and this will not be a sensation, but a logical end to a story that could have ended much more profitably for Arsenal. Following Douglas Luiz's loan move from Juventus to Nottingham Forest, Nicolo Shearer reported the terms of the player's mandatory buyout. The contract will be automatically activated if the Brazilian plays 15 matches with a minimum of 45 minutes each. The deal's value will be €3 million for the loan, €25 million for the buyout, plus €3.5 million in bonuses. If the buyout is activated, Luiz will sign a contract with Nottingham until 2030 with a salary of €5 million per year. Last season, Luiz played 27 matches for Juventus without any goal contributions. In Turin, he was not part of the coaching staff's plans, so a move to the English Premier League is a chance to restart his career. Lamine Yamal La Liga Player of the Season 2024, over 25, according to Transfermarkt. The Barcelona winger received the prestigious award after a brilliant campaign, in which he scored 9 goals and made 13 assists in 35 matches. Transfermarkt called him the world's most valuable player, with the most valuable award in his hands, emphasizing not only statistics, but also his overall impact on Barça's game. At 17, Yamal has already become a key player for the club, and this award is a confirmation of his status as the new face of Spanish football. Inter is not letting go of the idea of signing Manu Kone. The French midfielder of Roma remains the main transfer target of the Milan club, reports Gazzetta dello Sport. In the summer, Inter already tried to sign Kone, offering €40 million, but Roma refused to negotiate. Now the situation has changed. The Romans are forced to raise about €90 million by the 30th of June 2026 to meet financial fair play requirements. Kone, who played 34 matches in Serie A last season, has become a key player for Roma and has established himself in the French national team. His almost unsellable status is gradually weakening, and Inter is ready to seize the moment, especially if Roma reduces its financial demands. Bernardo Silva could return to Benfica as early as January 2026 if presidential candidate João Noronha Lopes wins the elections. As reported by Record Portugal, Lopes has already held talks with the player and confirmed a contract for Silva is ready. The Manchester City midfielder's current agreement expires in the summer of 2026, so he is entitled to negotiate with other clubs from January. Lopes wants to take advantage of this and make the transfer a central element of his election campaign. He called Silva the embodiment of a winning culture and a true Benfiquista. If Lopes wins the elections on the 25th of October, negotiations with City could begin immediately, or the transfer will be finalized in the summer as a free agent. Liverpool head coach Arne Slot commented on winger Federico Chiesa's exclusion from the Champions League squad. "It's one of the most difficult tasks a coach faces. It's hard to tell a player he won't play, even harder that he hasn't made the squad. He was unhappy, but he understood my arguments, even if he didn't agree with them. But Fede said he was ready to help the team in all other tournaments," Slot said. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action, and have a wonderful day.